10 insane facts about gun violence in America. A gun control debate was sparked after a mentally disturbed man shot and killed 2 journalists live on air in Virginia. This should be the right time to revisit these facts surrounding guns in the U.S. 10. America owns nearly half the world's civilian guns. Nearly half of the world's civilian-owned firearms are in America. This means that U.S. must be the biggest country worldwide with guns, about 270 million in circulation. India, that is the second biggest, has 1/6 of what U.S. has. There are about 88 guns per 100 citizens. 9. But only 1/3 of American households actually own guns. Even though you just read about those shocking numbers, it doesn't mean that everyone has a gun in the U.S. Not only do most Americans not own a gun, the number of U.S. households that own guns is actually declining. The number of gun owners increases each year in a blast. 8. Gun owners are pretty sensible. Not long ago, a petition was launched online to restrict children's access to guns. This restriction includes the ban of guns, smoking, drinking, having sex, and driving. The vast majority also support 5-day waiting periods for handgun sales and gun bans for those who are mentally ill. 7. The NRA controls Washington's gun debate. Between 2000 and 2013, the NRA, the firearms industries, and the ultra-militant organization Gun Owners of America poured over $81 million into House, Senate, and presidential races. This so far outstrips anti-gun spending as to make any comparison seem laughable. However, the NRA spent literally millions to support or defeat certain individual candidates in their political races. 6. The U.S. is the only country to relax gun laws after massacres. As senseless massacres committed in Australia, New Zealand, Germany, and England, respectively, each of these tragedies led to new gun control laws. The U.S. is the only advanced nation to respond to massacres by relaxing gun laws. Instead of restricting gun usage, the state responded by pushing through concealed carry laws. 5. The U.S. has more mass shootings than any other nation. A few days before the Virginia TV shooting, a study of mass shootings was released. This study analyzed 171 countries and 292 mass killers operating between 1966 and 2012. This study identified 90 mass shootings that had taken place in the U.S. Second comes the Philippines with 18. 4. U.S. gun murders are off the chart. U.S. firearm-related murders are off the chart. With 3.2 fatal shootings for every 100,000 citizens, the U.S. ranks significantly worse than any other Western nation. In the first half of 2015 alone, 6,800 Americans were shot dead. U.S. has a comparatively high overall murder rate as well, not just murders with guns. 3. More guns means you're more likely to die horribly. There's one unassailable truth about living somewhere with more guns. It makes you much more likely to die from a gunshot. Studies have shown that states with stricter gun control laws have lower rates of suicides using guns, as well as suicides in general. Even if you don't believe that, there's no doubt that living in a state with liberal gun laws dramatically increases your chance of being murdered. 2. Guns are an overwhelmingly male preoccupation. Gun sellers like to trade on perceptions of manliness. Nonetheless, it may surprise you how fiercely gun ownership skews toward the male gender, as only 12% of all U.S. women claim to be gun owners. This compares to about 37% of all U.S. men who claim to own guns, an enormous difference. This time, looking at it on a worldwide basis, rather than just the U.S., around 96% of all gun owners are men, which means that only about 4% of all gun owners worldwide are women. 1. U.S. guns are fueling the Mexican drug war. There are such strict laws surrounding gun ownership that only one legal gun shop exists in the entire country. Only 15% of the Mexican population owns guns, a rate below most of Western Europe. A massive influx of guns from north of the border may be contributing to the astronomical increase in Mexico's murder rate. Mexico's politicians believe that U.S. gun policies are directly impacting the drug war in Mexico. Apparently, U.S. citizens are not the only ones worrying about what might be crossing the border. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, perhaps you like my others. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe.